Thanks for joining. Today is day one for our Python programming. A good thing about these classes that every day you will get some script that you can go and run and you can see the result. So you will feel it. It's not like theory, we are learning theory, no hands-on, no practice. It's not like that. These are very much interactive classes we have. I will give you some 4 line or 5 line commands that you can go and run, execute it, and you can feel it that, okay, I'm giving some instruction and then we are getting some result. So you're writing some code and you are getting the result. These classes, these automation classes are very, very important because now we are shifting towards automation. You know, all these platforms, Cisco devices, Juniper devices, all these devices, they can understand this automation, and companies, they are expecting that people should know at least Python. Their expectation is more. They are expecting that you should know Terraform, you should know cloud formation, should know this, and you should know, security and routing, switching. They are expecting that you should know everything. But at least we should go and learn this Python. So this utility, this scripting utility, we can use at any platform. Irrespective of what platform we have, we can run these scripts because Python or Ansible, these programming languages, they can interact with n number of devices with high level of accuracy, right? So here you can see what you need. You need Python to install in your system. First thing. Second thing, what you need, that you need this Microsoft Visual Studio editor. And there are so many. There are PyCharms. There are so many. N number of list of the editors are available. This is good. This is free tool that you can go and install from Microsoft Store, and Python also you can install from your Microsoft Store. So now assume that your infra is ready to learn this programming language. So let's proceed. After that, I have shared this link, this PPT link that you can see in the back. Here you have. It has only 74 slides. In these, I have divided the Python into 6 units, 5 units I have divided. So you can see starting with what is data structure, expression, statements in Python, how we can utilize it. Then control flow, like these are the condition, for loop, while loop, if else, etc. Then the functions and array, little bit of advanced data structure, that is your arrays or list. You can see list, tuples, dictionaries, how we are going to use it, usability of function modules. And then finally, the file handling techniques. You can see files, exceptions, modules, packages. So these are the topics that we are going to learn within the Python. And we are going to start with the unit one, that is the introduction of data expression and statement. Okay, so let's start unit one. Uh, you can see day one, already we have done these things. We have Python, we have installed it from Microsoft Store, and we have Studio editor here, where we can go and run the program and we can see the results, right? You are with me so far?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, yes.
All right. So what we can do, let's see here. Now, when you learn these things like these programming languages, do not think that they are some different thing. Think that whatever we are doing in our day-to-day life, the programmings are like that. So day-to-day life, we can think day-to-day life, what we are doing, purchasing vegetables, some groceries, going to office, coming from office, we are getting salary, increment, percentage, some manipulation. we are giving some money to someone, taking something, like normal life we have. Now, these normal lives, we have mathematics in these normal lives. So whenever we are purchasing something, we are paying some amount, maybe $10 or maybe $9.99. So those are nothing but, you can see here, the integers, the floating values. Whenever we are in relation, we are either telling true or false. Sometimes we are telling truth, sometimes we are lying, right? So that is true or false. These are the Boolean conditions, right? And then you can see a string. A string is very interesting because whenever we are purchasing some vegetable or maybe fruit like banana, mango, you know, anything, pineapple, those are what? Those are a string. And later on, if you go and purchase, say, for example, banana, mango, or list of fruit items, if you go and club them together, they will become one list. So in a list, in your bucket, in your list, what are the things you have? You have banana. Maybe if you are mixing vegetable and fruits, so potato, then you have mango, then you have pineapple, then you have onion, like that. And then with Python trick, you can separate the banana and you can separate you can separate the fruit and vegetable. So under one list, you have all the items related to fruits, and one list you have all the items related to vegetable, right? So these things, so whenever we are doing this splitting, then what we are doing, we are using the intelligence of the programming. Program should be intelligent enough that can go and give us the result that whatever we are looking for, right? Now, in terms of networking, so if you see in terms of networking, I have one switch whose port count may be 48. CPU utilization or memory utilization is in some fraction of floating values. Your interface, say for example, gig interface 00 is up or down. So you can go and set true or false. Is active or inactive, true or false. What's the host name? Switch 01. So in terms of networking, you can see like this. And again, we have more examples as well. List. You can see list VLAN. So we may have n number of VLANs. VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 40. This is list. This is a special type of data structure. We will learn about that. Then variables. You know about the variables. They are the placeholders. They can change. We can go and change the values within the variables. Then you can see expression. Expression are combination of values, variable, operations, operators that compute a value. So expression, total ports, port count plus 4. What is the port count? 48. And then you are using some mathematics called plus. So 48 plus 4 will become 52. That is the total number of port count I have. Like, then a statement. What is the statement? A statement are instruction that Python interpreter can execute. Print the host name. The host name is the switch, so it will print the switch. I will not go beyond that 2 slides. Slide number 1, right? And slide number 2. This is actually slide 5, and this is actually slide 6. Slide number 5 and slide number 6. We will go and try to write some programs, some basic programs. And those things will be shared with you in the share directory that you can go and utilize it. Okay, so let's see. Let me open my command prompt. So here you can see I have my command prompt. Since I have installed Python here, so I can go and type Python. We are in the interactive mode of the Python where I can go and execute anything. So I can, for example, port count. equals to 48. Then if I go and call port count, try to understand this. Port count equal to 48. So we are assigning integer port count. Port count is what? Representing this integer value 48. When I am calling this port count, it is giving me this number. Now, you are able to understand this thing?
Yeah, yeah. I got that.
Same here.
It-
Same.
Okay. What are the things happening here in the back? In the back, what exactly, how Python comes to know that when we will go and refer port count, it will go and give the value 48. Think.
Are you asking us, or I
Yeah.
guess I don't understand. Okay. Oh,
So when I am telling him to give me the port count, so you can see we are assigning the value port count equal to 48.
uh-huh.
So why it is giving 48 in integer? There may be something right behind the scene that Python is calculating and providing us. So what I'm telling here, if you go and type, say, check type port count, this is important actually, basic thing but important. What is the class? You can see class is integer. Now you see, now I'll show you one thing. Host name equal to switch 01. Okay. And let's see if I go and do type host name. Now try to understand these variations. So when we have some numeric value, some integer value, so what is the class that Python is able to understand? Now see this thing. Now if I go and type host name equals to 48, and then if I try to check, so this 48 is different than this 48, right? This is also 48, this is also 48, but both are different, right? Why?
Well, it's got to be the same.
So this time you are putting 48 within this
Single quotes. Yeah.
quotes, right?
Single quote. Yeah.
Or even single quote or double quote, if you give like this also, doesn't matter in Python. If you are using double quote, use double quote. If you are using single quote, use single quote. So this doesn't matter, the quotation, right? But since it is in quote, so it is treating this as a string, class string, right? Since it is a normal value, numeric value, it is treating this as a integer, right? So if I go and you give port count equal to AB, see,
Right.
now this information is actually very important. This is very a small thing, but it is very, very important information. So we do not mix different type of data structure. And if you want to mix different type of data structure, like, you do not mix OSPF and BGP, BGP and OSPF, right? Now, if you want to mix them, then you have to do some redistribution. because OSPF can understand only OSPF, BGP can understand only BGP. But if you want to redistribute BGP within OSPF, so then BGP will lose its metric value, like its attributes, and it will behave like OSPF. Same thing here. If I try to convert 48 integer to 48 is string, then integer will obviously can't understand a string and a string can't integer, right? So those things are very important when we are doing the programming, when we are doing the coding, to understand what is the class type, right? So suppose
Right.
if I go here and say CPU usage equal to 10 point, suppose 1.111, and then I go and check the type for CPU usage is floating. Now, uh, if I, let's see, memory, now I'll create overall equal to CPU usage plus memory usage, and overall. Now try to understand these things here, that we have one uh, data type called integer, then we have one data type called string that is within the quotes, right? And when I try to assign here port count equal to AB without quote, it is throwing error because you can't mix match. If it is a string, you should provide within the quotes, single quotes, double quotes, right? Then I created one other function or other variable, you can say, not variable, but the value here. The CPU usage is equal to 1.11. That is what type is float. And then memory usage is 55.55. That is also type is float only, right? Then you will see here that we have called expression. We have something called expression where I can go and combine the values. So now I created one expression. It's the name of expression overall. In this expression, what it is doing, that it is taking the CPU usage and one of the value CPU usage and plus memory usage, the other value, and we are using math operation here, that is plus sign, and then it is printing the overall value 56.666. I think up to here you are very much knowing this.
Okay.
Any doubt so far?
No, no, no. This great.
Same
Easy
as
and
well.
straightforward, right?
Yes.
Now what we want to do, so your task, I'm going to give you one task. You have to go and write one program, test one, or even we can give the name as a day one because we are in day one, right? So we will memorize like this. See, day one. What is that class type, data type or something? Mm, Values, something like that. I'll give one name, day one values. What we want to do here, and before going anywhere, if I want to print, there is one function called print. We know about that. That print will go and print the whatever we want to print. So print hostname, it will go and print the hostname. If I go and do print A, B, C, D, whatever, it will simply go and print. So up to here, if you are with me, Then we are going to club all these small thing in a program, right? So let's see how we can convert these things in a program. You can go and give with this symbol. This is what hash symbol or pound symbol. Or this symbol. You can give comment. So I'm going to do the variable declaration here. What are those variables? We have port count, remember, which is integer. Then the host name, which is what? The switch one, or maybe like this, switch 01. That is, what is the class? Class is a string, right? str.
Right.
Then CPU usage, we have usage. Sorry for the typos. If something is there, you can correct. And then memory. These are float values. Now you can see that it is throwing some error. Oh, now it is not. So now we have done the variable declaration. These are some values that I can go and call within the program, right? Now what I want to do, I want to use some print statement, use the print statements to display these values and their types. So I want to print, and I will explain you about this. If you go and use print with this f function, this is what you want to assign some. I will explain you about the usability of this f, and you know that where we are using this f in other place. So let me do like this.
Right.
I'll explain. So print and then f. I'll come to this. I will close this later on. Say port count. Now I can go and assign the variable port count, which we want to print the type of that. Type is the port count. And then I want to close the. Now you can say error gone. So from this output, you will see here, and let me save this program, that a variable declaration we have done on top. And then I want to use a print statement to print the port count with their value. So if I go and run this program, python.exe, day one, you'll see this output. We are calling the port count, right? And then you can see that the output. Still people are joining my uh, just a second. Let me take a pause here.
No problem.
Let me know. You're able to understand this?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now I'll tell you one interesting thing here. We have started learning from nothing. You may think, oh, what I am doing and asking, like port count equal 48. Obviously, if I type 48, 48 will come. Host name, if I type host name will come. But the point here is this, that all these are small things. You can add one place and it will become big thing. Right? So now, like this, now you have the format. You have one pattern here. Now you can use this pattern to create the next thing, host name. Now I want to see the host name as a host name, type of the host name, save this, see, let's see. Now port count 48 and the type is integer, host name is switch 01, type is string, right? Now let's
Right.
twist this program. Now what I will do, change the host name. Now we'll go and change this. Later on, we have one concept called global variable and local variable. If you are creating the variables, like if you are assigning the values like this, they are your global variable. But if you are calling this within the function, later on we'll learn about the function and all. Those are your local variable because you are calling within the function. Now we are changing the host name. And again, same thing. That's a nice thing about program. Same thing you can utilize again and again. And I can give the comment new host name. See, yes. Port count, host name this. Now somehow we have changed the host name. So host name is 48. That's not a good name. So I can go and make this 2 or with new. New host name is 01 new. Right? You are able to understand me, follow this?
Yeah, it's going to take a little time studying, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, same
Okay.
here.
So adding CPU util and memory util. So we use one formula. So overall equals to CPU usage plus memory usage. Now we want to print it. So we can print like this. We can go and print the CPU usage and memory usage and then the overall. Right. So let's see. Because I need the type for, because we are following the same type of programming structure, and then overall usage. So now what we'll do here is this. Variable. Now the overall usage I want to print, and what I can do here is this overall, right? So where is the overall? Yeah, and then I don't want all this. Overall usage is overall. So let's see, okay. Now I haven't verified my program. I just created it and I will leave this Python. If any problem is there, it will generate the error. It's not generating the error. That means there is no problem. So till this point is okay. We have completed this till this point. Now you can see this portion of program that CPU usage type is float. Memory usage type is float. Now what I will do, I will twist the program here. I'll make this 55 just to show you some other data type as well. Now you can see integer. Now below you can see that memory usage type is integer because this is the integer number, and you can add float with integer. So final output is 56.111. This is very a small program, but from this program you can learn a lot. How we have developed this 20 line coding from nowhere, right? And we are using
Right.
very less number of items here like functions or features of Python, and we have developed this.